How does that
No,
look?
I'm not saying that. You get some sense that there's a handful of stocks.
Look at that. I mean, you could tie that to the market. Bang.
All right, holiday season. How are you, my friend?
Hey there, Tim. That's a playoff. Hey there, Delilah, by the way.
And in fact, not everyone can wear a plain white tee. You know who arguably is, I think, the guy that embodies the plain white tee outside of James Dean. It's probably Springsteen, right? I mean, jeans and a t-shirt, that dancing in the dark video with your gal Courtney Cox, and the mom jeans on Courtney Cox. She's got to be feeling bad about that as time wears on.
The worst Bruce Springsteen song of all time, without question, is Dancing in the Dark. He should be embarrassed, followed closely by Glory Days. And now I'm
Glory
going to
Days
say
is awful.
something. Don't at me, please.
No, it's
Everybody says Born to Run's the greatest Bruce song of all time. Born to Run is not in my top 15 1-5 Bruce songs.
I get it, and that's how you roll, and you're trying to be iconoclastic, and that's like 6 syllables, maybe more than you can handle. I do think that album got a little defensive listening. I think the Wild, the East Street Band, whatever that one, the Innocent, East
The
Street,
Wild, the Innocent, and the East Street Shuffle.
All right, so he sold out there. More importantly, he has just sold his entire music catalog to Sony for $500 million bucks. Talk about sellout, or talk about ringing the register. Is that a good or bad moment for rockers here, for Springsteen?
I think it's a great moment, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny. I mean, we talked about Bob Dylan a couple weeks ago. I think he sold his catalog for $300 million, and we actually posited that if he had waited until now, he would have gotten significantly more, and that's proving to be exactly correct because, quite frankly, you could put those catalogs up against each other. So good for Bruce Springsteen and good for Bob Dylan. I don't think he's a sellout at all. I think he's a smart, savvy business person.
Yeah, I'm thinking about your Fleetwood Mac gal. I mean, the question is, does Stevie Nicks, would I rather own 5 Stevies to 1 Bruce? Because that's really, I think she did, 80 to 100 million on her catalog. Seems ridiculously overpriced relative to the boss. But
will we talk about, if we're still doing commercial break a year from now on Reach TV, and I hope that we are, will we be talking about another band selling for a stick, as they say in our business, $1 billion? And if so, who would that be? Because I'm not sure there's a lot left out there. Maybe it would be ABBA. I mean, ABBA could be that.
It wouldn't be Frida and Agnetha and Bjorn, and I don't know what the other guy's name is, Benny. I just rattled off the 4 names of the ABBA people. That's ridiculous, and I'm proud or not about it. So I don't know. It would have to be the Beatles, but I think they've already done this. The question is, bands that have sold out. When I first saw or heard a Who song in a car commercial, I was crushed because they're my band, and I can't believe they went off and did that. I'm trying to think. I mean, look, if you like Metallica, you hate that Black Album because you feel like, they were a rough, edgy speed metal band that nobody really was not commercial. So so we take this straight into the world of markets and companies, and this is an easy one because what does the boss have? He's got a brand. Companies that ultimately have sold out are companies that probably have a brand, and selling out sometimes is cashing in. Sometimes selling out means you've actually done things wrong and you have no choice but a private equity firm, or there's a takeover, someone sees that you have a brand. Number 1 on that list to me, because it's probably one of the most iconic brands in the world, and it's like it goes hand in hand with the boss. It's Budweiser. Okay, guess what, guys? Budweiser's not an American beer anymore, okay? It's owned by Ambev, which is a Dutch company, but arguably was then really bought. The deal with 3G Capital down in Brazil. I mean, the Clydesdales are Brazilian horses. All right, so give me a company that you think has sold out, because Bud did it, Burger King did it. Who else has done it?
I'm trying to think of it through the lens of a company that went public too soon. I'm hard pressed to come up with a good name. I know we're tasked to do that, but I'm struggling with this one. Help me out here.
Well, I'll tell you what, sometimes it's a case, again, of a brand that's gotten tired and stale, or someone that aspired to have that brand. And I think we've seen this where American companies have been the target of foreign companies who recognize that American companies are the ones that have kind of built this brand. And think about Big Blue and IBM. We push them around all the time, but when they sold Lenovo to the Chinese, I mean, that was a case where they wanted remember the IBM like laptop was the go-to laptop, and obviously that was the business that they sold to the Chinese or GE. And there's not a greater example of a fallen, hero than GE in this country. And when they sold their washing machine, I think to Haier or something. I mean, you can have the GE repairman, or was it the Maytag repairman? I don't know. One of those guys show up at your house and he's not even, he's taking a plane from China.
So it just dawned on me. I realized, and listening to you talk, I realized a company, not really a company, but I don't know, an entity that sold out. Are you curious?
An entity that's sold out, so it's not a company, it's not a band, it's an entity who sold out. I don't know, Guy. What do you got?
Bill Shea was sort of he was the creator of so many things that are Mets, and yet the Mets decided to sort of cast him away, and they took like a couple $100,000 from Citibank to have their Pizza Hut logo on the stadium, or Domino's.
Was that fun for you? Look, I think Bill Shea,
it was a lot of
Bill
fun.
Shea has had a major role in Yankee baseball, New York Giants baseball, Washington Redskins. I mean, he and Jack Kent Cooke were buddies. So let's not, I'm a big Bill Shea fan. I'm a huge Shea Stadium fan. It will always be Shea. And Guy, at this point, I think tramps like us, I think we're born to run. It's about our time.
Before we run, Hyman Roth famously in Godfather 2, talking about Mo Green, said in terms of Las Vegas, he's basically the man who built Las Vegas, Mo Green, and there's not even a sign or a plaque to memorialize that. And Bill Shea is effectively the guy that created and was the foundation of the Mets. Yet you couldn't find something that even said Shea in this new Citi Field. I find that a little problematic, and to that end, I find them to be sellouts, Tim.
Okay, well, again, whether it's your white T-shirt or your Yankees that haven't won anything in a long time, your glory days are behind you, my friend. But we're not behind you. We're somewhere walking around the airports. Commercial break, 6 p.m., Reach TV. I am Tim Seymour. You are?
He's Tim Seymour. I'm Guy Adami. We are Tim.
Commercial break.